Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. Today's session is on moderate level anxiety in a dementia unit and coping with that. Most people coming into a dementia facility have moderate level anxiety, at least, Moderate level anxiety being on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. So low level anxiety is 0 to 3, moderate level anxiety 3 to 7, and high level anxiety 7 to 10. So moderate level anxiety is when the anxiety is there, not all the time, but a lot of the time. So it's moderate, it's not high and escalated, but the person typically, probably 4 or 5 hours a day, shows signs of anxiety, with tense neck and, squinted eyes and tight shoulders and sometimes terse, aggressive speech, etc. So, coming into a dementia facility, it's just such a wrench, for anybody. So, anxiety is part of it. The 2 big reasons for anxiety for most of the people coming in are disorientation, firstly, and the second one is lack of freedom. So a lot can be done for disorientation. I've gone into that a lot in the first video on low-level anxiety, so watch that if you want to know more. But in brief, for low-level anxiety, for moderate-level anxiety and disorientation, just make sure that your mother can find her room. That's the big thing, because, that she can find her room, she knows where it is, she can go there independently, that the room has her name and number clearly written up, that you do some practice runs with her to make sure she's orientated to know where to go. If she can't, do a lot of practice runs to make sure that she can find it. Because if she can't find her room when she wants to go to the bathroom, it's really stressful, and energy consuming and exhausting. Orientate her to the fact that she's in the unit, this is where she lives now, that you are there to support, that the family is there to support, that you will be visiting, that she's not abandoned, and, go through all of that. Okay, so that's orientation. Now, the second thing is the big one, lack of freedom. How to approach this? Yes, because, if the person's fit and able, they're walking around, they haven't got a walking frame, they can walk well. They could have walked outside on their own if they didn't have direction orientation and, find them and end up in some highway somewhere, in a dangerous situation. I mean, they can walk well often, but they just can't steer their way. They get disorientated even in familiar environments. So once they come into the unit, if the person has been fit and active and enjoyed the great outdoors, and they enjoy exercising and being outside in the sunshine with nature, as we all do in New Zealand, and then you're stuck inside this 24/7, institution with no way of getting out unless friends or relatives come to take you. You can imagine the stress. It's amazing that they can even cope with it. The stress is just, And for those people that are at moderate level stress, a lot of the time, often it goes up to high as well, but not permanently. That's why we're just dealing with this moderate stress group, where quite a lot can be done. That's why we're discussing it, to help. Okay, so if someone is feeling, okay, so all their liberty's gone, there's no freedom, they can't get out, they want to get out, they want to go home, they want the police, the whole shebang. Rather than just leaving them there in the unit to their own devices, as is sometimes suggested by medical staff, I don't know why, really support is the big thing. Support, understanding, reassurance, like mum, we know it's really difficult for you here. We're sorry that that this is happening, but because of your memory loss and it was unsafe with you living at home, and it wasn't safe for you to do the cooking, and when you went out, you were losing your way and that was dangerous. And we've discussed all this many times. And because of this, you know, and we did talk it through with you, and we've talked it through with the doctor on a number of occasions, that you need to be in a safe environment where, you know, everything's looked after in this capacity. Like, we know that you can think, we know that you can understand, but your memory, especially your present memory, which brings problems with safety, is, you know, very low or gone sometimes. And because of that reason, you know, and you're living on your own now that Dad's passed away. So you do, and yes, I know, we've discussed that. Yes, okay, you know, okay, I remember now. So sort of get her on track with that. And also, and, you know, just say, look, Mum, we understand that it's really difficult being here with all the restrictions, but we've got a roster in place, you know, the whole family, the grandkids, we've got a roster in place to come in every day. One of us is going to come in every day so that you can have a walk outside or go out for a trip or whatever you would like. And we've put that big whiteboard in your room, and each day we're going to put up the name of the person that's coming to pick you up and the time that, you know, that they'll come. So the staff know and you know, and you can read it in advance. Oh, that would be lovely, dear, to have an outing every day. And I do love seeing the grandchildren, and that's good. You know, they might be seeing more people than, you know, now they're in the dementia facility than what they were in their own home, which was, you know, out on the farm 2 hours away from the city. Whereas now she's in the city, in the dementia facility. Lots of the family are living nearby. They can visit more often, this being the better scenario. So in that way, you know, really I found those residents that were well supported were okay while they were well supported. You know, there was one lady, her daughter dedicated daughter. Oh, this lady, she was so well dressed, you know, so well groomed, Chanel number 5. I don't know how that didn't go missing. All the best sort of Lancome makeup or whatever it's called. And she had the best of everything in her room. Like, it must have gone missing at times. And the family must have just replaced those, $300 bottles. Anyway, she's the only person I've met like this in a dementia unit, but she was just, you know, very much the lady. And her daughter, lovely girl, she used to come in every day to take her out for coffee, you know, breakfast for 2-3 hours every day. So this woman was fine. You know, she had the nice bedroom all set up beautifully, you know, looking out on the garden, all her treasures and magazines, the latest and the greatest. And, you know, she didn't mix much with the other residents, but she did have a good friend with one of the men next door, but that's it. So she was okay until her daughter became unwell and couldn't take her out so much or hardly at all, and then she became really distressed and aggressive. So the support has to be consistent, you know, and with that support, try and encourage your mother to make friends with people at the unit, so that if the support fades out, as it does if people move overseas or something happens, they have a friend at the unit that they can socialize with. It's really important. It's actually really important to have both the support of the family and a friend at the unit for when the family's not there. So do encourage that. Don't just carry on with the family support and forget about the unit stuff. You know, spend a bit of time at the unit and meet their friends and join in the occasional activity and have lunch with your mother now and then so you can meet her friends at her table and things like that. It is really, you know, important, because when your mother makes friends, that's also another big factor for being able to alleviate anxiety. Trips out with the family so that she doesn't feel restricted in terms of her freedom, and socializing with a friend. Those two things help alleviate the anxiety an enormous amount, right down from moderate to at least low. So that's the end of moderate anxiety and all that you can do for this. And thank you for watching and viewing and subscribing. You know, it's really exciting seeing these subscribers. I know it's at a low level, but still, you know, it's picking up. We're getting the platform there. And any ideas and comments are always welcome. Thank you. And the next video is going to be on high level anxiety.